In the last few days, some of the biggest, if not the biggest announcement in Illuvium has dropped, and I'm gonna show you everything you need to know about it, everything that's gonna come in the future for Illuvium. So let's dive right into it and see what it's all about. So first things first, we have a launch date, and this is arguably the best and the biggest news since the Illuvium project has started. 25th of July next month. Illuvium will go onto the mainnet and will be on the blockchain. Every Illuvial you hunt and you capture will actually be yours, your NFT. You can keep it, you can do whatever with it. And this must feel amazing for all the team members that have been working tirelessly for the last years. And it also feels really good to me and all the other community members who are finally here. We all finally have arrived and Illuvium is coming out. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. So the next news we have right here is about upcoming future developments and research. So Illuvium posted a little update on the features that are very likely to come. Please take this with a grain of salt because the features, as it says right here listed, are in various stages of development and research and are subject to change or may not be implemented at all. So let's really quickly go over all the points and I'm gonna speculate what I think they mean. By no means have I any insights on any of those points, so this is 100% pure speculation from just the experience I've had in Illuvium. So ethereal Illuvials, those are already in the game. So this is one of the most questions asked on my stream. So you have two different versions of Illuvium, the colored one and the black and white one. The colored one is the normal version of the Open Beta Testnet where you have a stable game. And then we have the Illuvium Testnet, the grayed out one, which they are gonna test experimental features on, and if you want to try some of those experimental features you can go there, but I would recommend you, if you're just playing the game, to play the normal one. If you can't find it, you just go into your library and you search for Illuvium and then you will find both of them. This one is, I think, only for private testers. When you got invited to the private beta, you actually got this testnet version. So for anybody who just jumped into Illuvium now or didn't get a private beta key, you only have this one, which is the one you want to be playing anyway, right? The testnet features, those are for testing out experimental crazy stuff. And then if it gets approved, if it is good, it will move over to the main version. So yeah, right now on the test version of the game, we have ethereal Illuvials. So when you jump into a fight, only 3 of them are capturable. And the other Illuvials there, mostly very high rare Illuvials, are there to make the fight harder, but you cannot capture them. Arguably, it's not my favorite version of the game because, for example, I've been hunting for a Ramfire since this game came out. I haven't found one yet. And now I go into an encounter and there is hundreds of Ramfires popping up as ethereal Illuvials. I can't capture that, feels a little bit sad. But they're still working on this and everything here is still work in progress. Before that, we actually have Illuvial combat, so the Illuvials will fight back. We have heard a lot of feedback from the players that they actually like the auto-battler integration in the Illuvium Overworld. They don't want it to be a full Monster Hunter experience where you don't have that auto-battler fight anymore to capture Illuvials. So I would like to see a middle ground where we shoot down a Ramfire, it turns around, it's like, what the hell, dude? And he just goes up into the air and rains down fire onto us. And then we fight with him, try not to die. And as soon as we kill it, as we complete the damage bar, it actually pops up as a sphere again and we can go into a fight. So I definitely want Ramfire and big Illuvials not to run away. Maybe a Kuka, an Atlas is still going to run away. But the big ones, hopefully with Illuvial combat, will fight back. But hopefully we still have the auto-battler side of things in the overworld as well, as it helps onboard for our other games and stuff like this. That's what I like to see. Then we got missions right here. We have had like tasks already, but missions is more something like quests, I believe. You go to some NPC, ask him, and he tells you, yo, go out in the overworld, capture 3 Appons and mine 5 rocks, and then come back and you're gonna get a reward. So classic quests is maybe something we see with missions. Then we got Forge UI UX updates. I think this is mostly gonna be to just navigate a little bit easier because right now, if you find something you wanna craft, you can see all the ingots, then you have to remember all the free ingots, go into the ingot tab, find them there. You already forgot, or at least I forget most of the ingots that I needed while I search for them. So I hope if we want to craft that weapon, we just click on the material it's needed on the ingot, and then we can directly craft it there, or it just brings us straight to the crafting interface of the ingot, and we don't have to maneuver so much manually around to find all the pieces that we need to complete our crafting. Next up, we got diaries. Aaron hinted at this a little bit over the years. So basically, I think there will be little, I don't know, tablets laying around. That's something we saw in Pokemon Arceus, to just explain what happened in the past. Because this planet is very mysterious, and I think it used to be a normal planet with normal animals, but then a comet crashed onto the planet and changed everything, brought all the different metals, like Illuvium, I think, is the name for a metal. This is what the obelisk is built out of. And then this is where all the animals got transformed. And maybe with future sets, to explain why there's suddenly new animals coming in, new Illuvials, it could be that there is like a rift in time and space, and they come through this obelisk portal, new Illuvials from the future or from the past come into the world. Next up, we got new regions. I think next on the list will be Halcyon Sea and Taiga Boreal. But we also got Sharp Bluff and Crystal Shores on the list, so let's see. I'm really excited to jump into any new region that we're getting. Region unlock mechanism is interesting as well. I personally think it's gonna be similar to World of Warcraft AQ Anquirai. That was a very special server-wide event where all the server had to come together and there was a big main quest. For example, bring 50,000 Chrovium to Arlen and then bring 20,000 Gumball drops. And if you participate in that, if you donate something for that to open the new area, then you will get a reward. And once everybody has contributed, the pool has been filled, the next area will open and we can go to the next one. Because I don't think you're gonna unlock them just for yourself. I think once it's unlocked, everybody can go to the new one. And this is one way I could see it happening. Then we got faction influence. So I interpret this as that we have factions. And I would think, for example, the mechanics of the ship, or the explorers, or maybe the Illuvial data science team. And we can maybe sign up for one of them or work with them and do tasks for them to improve our influence with them and get rewards through them. We got an immersive tutorial coming, so we saw already a little bit of the tutorial, but it can be way longer and way more detailed. And I think the tutorial was already very nice, and I can't wait to see the immersive one, because the one we had already was already so cool, with that guy like telling you what to do, and he had a really cool character and a really funny voice and everything to it. So let's see what's coming there. Character customization, we have already seen that in a few leaks. You will be able to customize everything. So for example, eyes, noses, eyelashes, body type, whatever you want to do is going to be able to be customized. I think there's going to be hundreds, thousands of different combinations, and maybe one day you can even lock that in as your NFT, so your appearance would be the only one in Illuvium with exactly the same appearance. So that would be really cool. I would like to see that. Progression changes, I think this means that we are not going to be able to capture all Illuvials in the time frame of a month. That's what we have been seeing right now on the private beta and stuff like this. So I think it's going to get tuned down a little bit, and the rare Illuvials are going to become a little bit rarer. Then we have an updated crafting system. I think that ties a little bit in what I said with the Forge UI UX changes. So I think the whole crafting system is going to be way more straightforward, way more intuitive, and way more easy to understand. Next up, NPC interactions. We also talked about that with Arlen before. So there's going to be NPCs because your ship crashed. You have a superior officer, Arlen, I think that is. You have mechanics, you have everything, right? And you're going to be able to talk to them, get information, maybe get quests, get missions, and so on. Then this is one of the most exciting ones on the list right here, raid battles. So I assume you can, same like World of Warcraft old school, gather 40 people, like you sign up for a raid group and then you are like 40 people that goes out into the overworld and hunts down a Leviathan. The Leviathans, is, if you didn't know, they are like huge monsters. For example, in Crimson Waste and also in Brightland Steppes, you can see like their skeleton laying around. They're as big as a skyscraper. And also in the Brightland Steppes, we just see the eye of it and it's as big as a house. So that would be really cool, big boss fights with your fellow Illuvium mates. Because next one is multiplayer. This is as exciting, and this ties in a little bit together, because multiplayer, what could that be? I would like to be able to jump into Brightland Steppes with my homies and hunt and harvest and do all things together. Just a little bit more resources maybe. And then maybe if they go up in a bubble taxi, I just shoot them down and they fall down. I would love that moment. I would do that all day, and probably one day nobody would want to play with me anymore. But I could see that happen in the long future. Maybe what this means is though that the Sanctum Mesa could be a community hub, kind of like the cities and MMOs and stuff like this. But we're too many people, so it would have to be instanced. and then you're like in Sanctum Mesa number 55, and there is 100 people in there, and you see other people running around with their Illuvials, with their skins. You can talk to them, have like conversations, get to know each other. It's like kind of like Pokemon Yellow, right? Where Pikachu was always following you. I can see a world where we choose our pet Illuvial, our main Illuvial, our companion. We bond with them in the overworld while running around. And so then I'm bonded with Ramfire, and Ramfire is always going next to me. And then we see all those rangers running around with their Illuvials, and that would be really, really cool. I don't see us going into runs together yet, but I would love to see it. But I don't think that's gonna come next. Then we got the arena part of things. Illuvial XP and leveling is gonna get a rework. I think it's gonna be more visually apparent that you level up, like kind of like Pokemon again. At the end of the fight, ding, 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 you see your Illuvials actually level up. And I think it's gonna get a little bit faster. In combination with more rare Illuvials that we talked about earlier, I think leveling could be tuned up a little bit to then what you capture. It's not gonna take you forever to actually evolve them into the next stage. Because like I said in some videos before, I think the hard part should be to capture 3 theories, not to actually level them to level up. So as soon as I capture 3 units of a type, it should be fairly easy to evolve them, because the hard part should have been capturing them, not leveling them up. Weapon system overhaul, we have had a leak from Aaron in the Illuvium Discord where he says the weapons are gonna feel way more iconic with this rework, because we're gonna have stage 1, 2, and 3 weapons like we have right now. But stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3 will feel more like the Illuvial stages where you get composite affinities and classes. So for example, we have a stage 1 sword, which is water plus fighter. And then in stage 2, it gets steam plus fighter. And then stage 3, it could be behemoth plus steam. So it levels up the synergies into composite synergies. Next up, suit updates. I personally find the suits a little bit confusing because there's like 50 of them, and many of them do very much the same. So maybe less suits, or at least make it more clear which suit suits your team the best. So I want to really know, hey, this is for a rogue ranger. This is really for my empath team to have more healing and stuff like this. Next up, Gauntlet mode. This is our free-to-play TFT-like mode. The auto battler with Battle Royale as we know it from Teamfight Tactics and also from Dota Underlords. This is a great move from the Illuvium team, because we're going to be able to onboard Web 2 gamers with a completely nice experience in a completely free-to-play game. Next up, we got the Leviathan mode. Leviathan mode is like the Ascendant Arena, so it's a one-on-one arena match. But in the Leviathan mode, actually stats matter. So the most expensive, perfect stats Illuvial will give you an advantage. And this is the Whales Playground. Next up, we got cosmetics, emotes, battle boards, skins, and drone blasts. This is going to be amazing once we have them in the game. And everybody's going to look a little bit different, can put on their favorite suit, can have their favorite emotes. And also battle boards, the ones that have been leaked, look very, very good. And drone blasts also very cool to taunt your enemy in the arena. You're gonna shoot over a fireball to taunt them and so on. Then we got some survival mode updates to make it probably more interesting, more maybe fast paced. And yeah, survival mode, maybe it's just me because I've played it hundreds of hours when we first got access to Illuvium, but it feels kind of a little bit boring compared to the PvP system. But I think it's really good for beginners to learn the auto battler. So I think it's gonna stay very much the same, just a little bit more fast-paced, a little bit more exciting, you know? Because I like it how it is, just it needs that kick. Next up, we got Illuvium 0. Illuvium 0 Beta is coming, the next phase of Illuvium 0. Blockchain functionalities are coming, so we can probably test all of that on the Sepolia testnet. Then we got Podarium system. I'm at a complete loss what that could be, so let me know in the comments down below if you have any ideas. Then we have megacities, in-game peer-to-peer marketplace, and competitive features, which I find is really exciting to have competitive features in the Zero game, which was not really meant to be anything towards player versus player. I don't think it's really player versus player, but it's like player versus player competing on leaderboards and stuff like this, so that's pretty cool. And then we got Illuvium Beyond Passport Access. That's gonna be nice collection rewards and an upgrade for the album. That's it with all the features that are planned and in development right now in Illuvium. Keep in mind, all of this could change, will change, and also it could never happen, some of this. This is everything work in progress, as it has always been until now, because we have been in the open beta. We have been in the private beta. We have been here for 3.5 years, but now Illuvium is coming out 25th of July. I can't wait. Let me know what you think about it. And if you need another video, if you wanna learn everything there is to know in the Illuvium overworld, I got this video right here for you, which will be the first step in your journey. And then I have a full Essentials Guides playlist where I try to teach you everything I know in Illuvium. I've been playing this game probably for around 2 years, and I want to share my knowledge with you so you can have a little bit of a head start. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.